Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 20th Lucid Dreaming Q&A. Finally got around to doing this. It has been a while. It is 2 o'clock, 1400 hours, United States Eastern Daylight Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. at 1900 hours for those of you in the UK. Welcome, everybody. I hope you are all well. I have not done a Q&A live stream in eons, and I haven't done a stream since August 6th. Yeah, I've been really busy actually, and just got back into school just a couple of weeks ago on August 22nd. So I've been getting busy. Let's see what we've got for an audience. I got 2 people watching. Wow. Okay. Well, I did post the links on Dream Cafe and Omni Lucid, so people can see that. Lord Cobb. Hello. Nice to meet you. I don't think we have met yet. Nice to meet you. Looks like it's just us for now. So if you guys would like some company, spread the word. Bring some folks on here from Drink Cafe and Omni Lucid. Don't know how busy the chats are. The chats have been pretty slow the past few days. In the afternoons, kind of fluctuates up and down. Let's see if we can get anybody else to join us. If you have your lucid dreaming questions, this is the place to ask them. For the in case someone here hasn't been here before. The rules are pretty straightforward. I have slow mode enabled. That is for my screen reader to help me keep up in case there were a lot of messages coming in. Also, it forces people not to spam. You have to wait 30 seconds between sending messages, meaning that the message you send should take you at least 30 seconds to type up. It's pretty straightforward, and that is to make sure that there isn't a lot of spam in the chat. Thank you, everybody. Yep, Dream Cafe admin, that is me. And now we're just waiting on people. Those human things. Hey, GamerBot, I just DM'd you actually because we were talking about timing. Speaking of timing, computer, what time is it in London, United Kingdom?
In London, it's 7:02 p.m.
In other words, just like I said, 5 hours ahead. 19:02 in 24-hour time. Just like I said. Hey, Tyson. Hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing all right. It has been a while, I think. Jelly Yeet, I believe I remember you. Hello, welcome. Oh, we got some people in here now. Really, are y'all 4 hours ahead? So you're saying it's 6 p.m. in London right now. You're saying in UK it's 6 p.m., not 7, because yeah, my Alexa thinks it's 7 o'clock over there in London. She thinks that's 5 hours ahead. Has your daylight savings time ended already? Because we should both still be on daylight savings. Has your daylight savings ended already? Yes, the Red Slayer. We need people. Go get them. Awesome. Hey, Cappuccino, the ceiling is up as always, because if it's not, we've got bigger problems. And I hope you are doing all right. I'm doing fine. Yeah, it's 19 GMT, just like I thought. Yeah, Pacific Coast. Hello. London is technically GMT. You could say it's UTC +1 right now. But like GMT, it's GMT, not GMT +1. London is Greenwich Mean Time. Usually the time zone would be like, I don't know. Does Europe do something really stupid? It should be GMT, not GMT +1. But usually it's 5 hours ahead though. But it's 5 hours ahead in London. That's what everyone who says GMT means. They don't mean the middle of the Atlantic. They mean London. I have actually Paisano. The answer to that question is both. I was born with a genetic condition, but I had subsite when I was younger and lost it over time. So the answer is actually both. Yeah, I thought London was GMT too. Hello, Sensei. I hope you're doing all right. Thanks for showing up. Thank you for showing up. I don't think you've been here in a while. Thank you very much, Lord Cobb. And I am caught up. We have 5 watching now. That's what I thought. 5. Yep. my math was right. Well, I am here to answer any lucid dreaming questions anybody may have. So if you got some lucid dreaming questions, go ahead and ask them. I hope everyone has been doing well. It has definitely been too long since I've done one of these. I got to do them more frequently. My school schedule is going to mean that I'm a little bit busier, though, a little bit more hectic, more going on, more to do. So I will ultimately be busier. That's just going to be the fact of life. Do hope we get some folks in here, though. But yeah, I got a lot going on. I got on school. I'm on my university's travel model UN team, and we're going to a conference in a few months. And I got classes going on. My week schedule is kind of weird. It's a weird schedule, but it's decent. It's not bad. And I've done a lot of chatting. I've done a lot of chatting online in the evenings. I just haven't made it into stream yet. If someone is trying all the things that has zero recall, for good recall, but has zero recall, what do you suggest they do to get some recall to get them started? Well, I would first actually look into why they may not be getting good recall. So if you're trying all the things, and let's give a time frame. How long have you been trying all of these things? Obviously not you. This is hypothetical because you know what you're doing. But let's say you've been trying, to do recall for say 3 weeks, and you haven't been getting results. I would start looking at factors that could be causing issues with recall. Sleep schedule. All right. Are you having a consistent sleep schedule? Are you consistently getting a good amount of sleep? 7 to 9 hours. Are you consistently getting that level of sleep? Are you dealing with stress in your life, emotional stress, anxiety? Because that can affect your dream recall. So, are you dealing with a lot of stress? Do you feel like you're under pressure to get dream recall? Because if you feel like you're under pressure to do it, that can also impact your ability to actually recall dreams as well. So, I would start looking into other factors. I would start looking at, okay, well, why is what is actually going on here? I would start looking at that because there are a lot of other factors at play aside from just recall techniques themselves that can influence your actual recall. So that's where I'd go. As far as to get some recall, like I said, I would look at those other factors, see if those factors apply. Is this hypothetical person under stress? Are they dealing with anxiety or feel like they're under pressure? Are they getting good sleep? Are they getting consistent sleep schedule? Is their sleep fluctuating a lot or is it stable? All that things going on. Do they have things that are preventing them from properly executing the recall techniques? Like, for example, are they distracted immediately when they wake up in the mornings and they're unable to dream delve? Are they not remembering to review dreams before bed or set intentions? Are they using way back to beds or not for recall? A lot of different factors that you would look at, and I would go on a case by case basis and look at each individual person's factors and try to screen for what could possibly be causing recall issues. This is a fun podcast for you. The good news is for you guys, I don't have any paid subscription services yet because I'm just broke. I've haven't been able to do a ton of work because of my weird as hell school schedule. So I haven't had a ton of time to throw into work. So I'll actually be going and doing some work after this so I can make a little bit of money. So I can make a little bit of money. So that's a thing. So yeah, I'm kind of broke myself. The real owner, I'm not even sure if we really have one at this point because co-owner has been doing all of the owner stuff for eons. Eld was the original owner. He's not active very much on Dream Cafe though. And even since Nyadeska and all that stuff, we've been doing with co-owners doing the majority of stuff on the server, owner administrative wise, since mid to late 2021 actually, and throughout all of 2022. And now we have two of them active, two good ones I think, and we're doing pretty well I think in 2022. But yeah, the co-owners basically run the show over there. Please make a podcast. That would be so cool. Yeah, you help me fund the startup, and we'll see. Oh my goodness. But yeah, maybe a stand-up show. I don't know. I think I can make like two people laugh. Both of them may be related to me, but is that really relevant? Anyway, I hope I think Sensei, I hope your lucid dreaming's been going well. We should totally VC sometime. I would love to actually talk to you more, like actually talk. And Cappuccino, I haven't noticed you on Dream Cafe in like forever. I guess I don't know if you're on there anymore or what you're up to, but I haven't noticed you on there for like eons. Still remember when you used to be called. Trying to remember what your old name was, honestly. But I still remember when you went by that different name before you went by cappuccino. So I think it had an 8 in it. The number 8 was in it, I think, at one point. But yeah, yeah, Lord Cobb, I think that's true. In terms of like the content, at least, I think that's true. But yeah, cappuccino. I'm trying to think about what that old name of yours was. It had an 8 in it. That much I remember. Yep. And then you switched to cappuccino, like wasn't Jordan something? No, you switched to cappuccino. I want to say before April of this year. It's been that long. Gosh. Yeah, it was earlier this year, like really early. I was in school in the spring semester when you changed your name, and you've been going by cappuccino ever since. But yeah, we have all of 5 people watching, and looks like everybody has questions. Which is code for nobody has questions. But yeah, it's it really does almost feel like everything has been answered at this point. So let me ask you guys questions. What would you like to see me do for live streams? Honestly, I would love to do some more panel stuff. I'd like to get people on here and just discuss topics and discuss, we could discuss things like, current research or studies or things like that, or we could just discuss up and coming topics. Like, what would you guys like to see, honestly? It wasn't The Incredibles' true story, but it did have an 8 in it. Um, it had I think it had the number 8 in it, but it wasn't Incredible True Story. It was something else. I may remember it sometime in the next few days. I'll just think about it. I'll go, oh, that was his name? Yeah. I would love to do more panel, but it's getting people to participate in the panel and having their schedules line up with mine. That's the issue. Isn't that the issue, Sensei? It tends to be the issue. At least from my understanding, that tends to be the issue, getting people's schedules to line up. It definitely does. You guys probably aren't aware, but I'm actually not on Discord at the moment. I usually ignore Discord when I'm doing a live stream because, well, I'm streaming. And then, today I just turned it off completely. And so I'm not actually in there at the moment. And that's sort of to keep things decent. Keep things, just I'm not having to pay attention to a whole bunch of things. But chat's not busy at all. Yep. Oh, Lord Cobb, you subscribed. Thank you. Lord Cobb. Now live live on my channel. Copy link address. Okay, there we go. Now I can go post that link address. E, just the letter E, really? JWSLY, the letter E. Very, very, very dignified message there. I really appreciate the letter E and all of its extraness, its everlasting, effervescent epitome of the letter E and all the letter E stands for in our society. I really appreciate the letter E. I'm just going to post something over here. Lucid Dreaming Q. And here we go. There we go. I just dropped the link. It's okay, Cappuccino. Me. Yeah. Yeah, all these letter E's. Yeah, let's see. What is it with what is it with everyone in the letter E today? Hello, technically Lucid. I am technically Skyfall. Nice to make your acquaintance. Hello and welcome to Lucid Dreaming Q&A number 20, where we have had exactly one Lucid Dreaming question. I hope you are doing well today. Everyone here is basically a veteran of Dream Cafe or Omni Lucid or coming to these streams before, so we don't have a lot of questions yet. 3D printing a lightsaber right now. Well, I guess if you have a 3D printer, I mean, that's pretty nice. It's a shame you can't do like that engineering thing, like these guys who, like these engineers who actually tried to make their own like actual like lightsabers, except no force field, of course. But like these engineer guys who actually made their own lightsabers with like really complicated stuff is actually kind of cool. What have I done? JWSLY after releasing the E of Death. Oh, what have I done? Hello, Silvas. Welcome. I think this is the first time coming to one of these, maybe? Unlucky Panda. Hey, now we're getting people. Didn't know what else to print. Well, I guess TSA would let you take the lightsaber through security. They may not let you take some other items. Now we have 11. Holy crap. Yay. That was fast. Oh, yeah. Oh, you did number 17. Number 17 was so long ago. Oh, my God. Yeah, I did number 17 before I went to the International Dream Conference. I did number 18 before I went to the International Dream Conference. And I did number 19 before I went to the International Dream Conference. And the International Dream Conference I went to on July 16th, 2022. So it's been a while. Oh my God, yeah. I'm not much of a you know cardi like exerciser myself. Like I don't think I could do a 3-hour bike ride. Not to mention I can't steer worth a dang. So there's that. Mhm. But now it's good to have you guys here. I got 11 people. Tyson King, I believe I've done a lot of DMing with you in Discord. I hope you're doing all right. Unlucky Panda, it's good to see you again. Same with Silvas, you as well. Oh. Mia. Okay. Not sure what that means, but but anyway. Oh yeah, you put yeah. It's the PM being merged together with the word with the letter yeah, with the word yeah. It read as PM Maya, because there's no spacing on here. Having the capital letters does help with that. Weird. Oh, a PR idea. Oh. Yeah, we could do a PR thing for Omnibus and Dream Cafe. Yeah, we could do that. Like submit your PR ideas and then talk and then hold a panel. What we should do actually, Cappuccino, here's what we should do. We should do a PR contest and basically have people send in their ideas for PRs and then have a panel of judges go through them on the air with people watching. And then the panel of judges decide on the finalists and then we have people vote on them. Like that could be pretty fun, honestly. That could be pretty cool. Oh, dang, yeah, yeah, you've been doing it for a lot longer than I have, which is to say, like, a lot longer because I don't. But yeah, this time you're 16, you've been riding for a year. So yeah, you're just out on the town or wherever the heck you are, just riding your bike. Is it possible to feel a new emotion in a lucid dream? Emotion you haven't felt before? I would say, you know, I don't think it's possible necessarily to feel like an emotion that doesn't actually exist. I think that's a little bit of a conundrum there because when you're talking your emotions, emotions in dreams aren't like, like reality in dreams, which can be whatever you can imagine it to. It's a little different than that, I think, because your emotions in dreams are actual emotions. Like you're actually experiencing those emotions. So they're emotions that your brain can chemically and physically produce. Um, you are actually experiencing those in real time in dreams. And so can you experience a new emotion? Depends on how you define new emotion, I think. If it's something you haven't felt before, possibly, but you can only do that once because then it's no longer new. And I would say generally, I would say probably not because you know you'll your emotional responses are things that you've probably experienced at some point before. I don't, maybe you could have something you don't remember. Like say you've never been terrified out of your mind. I don't know if you would end up in a nightmare where you could be terrified out of your mind, but you could be. Like you could experience that, and that could be new to you, at least for that moment. But could you experience an emotion that doesn't physically exist, like come up with an entirely new emotion? I don't think so, because it's emotions are things that you actually create those, and you actually are physically experiencing them. It's a little bit different than things that you can imagine just doing. I would say like new. I think it depends on how you define new emotion for sure. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. We have a lot of new people on Dream Cafe. We should get some of them in here. Ooh. Yeah, we should get some folks in here. Uh, yeah, Sensei is over there in the Dream Cafe chat, which is good. Somebody should. Let's see. Okay, interesting. They're talking about lucid nightmares over there. Oh, here we go. Yeah, yeah. Your emotions and dreams on some of us tend to be like more hype, like more active than they are when awake, but they are the same emotions. Can you taste new taste in dreams if you don't know how the thing actually tastes? Like, obviously, it wouldn't be the actual taste. Can it be new? Again, what you experience is kind of based on your thoughts, your ideas, your memories, your imagination. So, like, you can experience things that you've never done before in dreams, but it'll be based in part off of things that you've either done, seen, heard about, thought about. Like, for example, if you fly in a dream, it could be about what your idea of flying is, or maybe you saw a TV show or a movie where there was a character that flew, and it's based off of that, and you have memories based off of that. Um, you travel to a place, and it can be based on your idea of what that place is like, and the idea of what that place is like is based on your memories of everything from places you've actually been to fiction. Now, like here's what your brain does to make a new experience. It takes all these types of memory sources, things you've actually done, things you've seen and watched, fiction, your imagination, your idea, and it kind of just clumps all of that together to create a new experience. Elements of that experience can be distinctly traced back to real memories. So, for example, I had a dream where I was, oh yeah, it was a couple nights ago, and I was in this sort of basketball arena that was based off, it was not a real arena, but it was based off of two basketball arenas, one at each of the universities I've been to, and it had this like classroom off of the basketball court. Now, here's the deal, like classroom's a classroom. I've been in so many classrooms. And so there's an idea I have for a classroom. Have I been in this actual one before? No, I haven't. It's a new experience. I walk outside to this hallway. Well, there's a wraparound hallway that goes around the Coliseum. Well, one of the Coliseums this is based off of has that on the lower level. The elevator that goes up to the upper level is actually based on the elevator in one of the Coliseums that I think has changed since then, but it's actually based on that. And then the whole thing changes into this weird version of a hotel that's not a hotel I've actually been in, but is loosely based off of the conference hotel I was at in Tucson. Now, that's where my thoughts are. And then there are dream characters based off the people that are actually there, which was really cool. But the layout's completely different. I noticed the layout's different too. Like I actually noticed and observed this as we're walking around. But the elements from that layout, from the like the mat, this like doormat with like the ridges in it going into one of the rooms that didn't exist at the actual hotel. Well, all these things come from different memory sources. This comes from memories of walking into places or what these objects and things are like. And so your mind is pulling all of these distinct memory sources together in an REM dream like this and combining them into something you haven't actually experienced. So that is ultimately how you have new experiences. Yeah, you can do that with taste as well. Just a really long way of saying, yeah, you can. But it'll like be based off of things you've probably tasted before. It could be a combination that you've never thought of or that you've never really experienced or considered maybe having. But it would be like, what you kind of associate it with or thought of combination wise. And it could create something that you haven't actually experienced, but it's going to be, all the elements are sourced from things that you have experienced or you have had memories ever thought about. It's really cool, actually. How all this works is really cool. One, I wouldn't try for a lucid nightmare. That seems to be counterintuitive to me. I think it really depends on the situation and whether or not you kind of retain lucidity or what level of lucidity you have, I think, too. So, for example, some people, lucid nightmare is really scary because they're having trouble with dream control. It's about like not being able to control the experience, and that lack of control breeds fear, which of course fear is one of the things, your emotions are what cause the theme of the or mood of a dream to be what it is. And so if you're having a nightmare, it's based off of your emotional state or stress or anxiety, things of that nature is kind of where nightmares kind of come from. They come from your emotional state. That's where you get nightmares from. And so if you are having an emotional state that affects your ability to control the experience, like of course dream control and lucidity are two different things. However, if you're used to having dream control and then you don't have dream control in a nightmare and you're dreaming, you maybe feel trapped, and that just gives you this whole like cycle of, okay, now you're feeling more afraid and then you're in a nightmare, and that of course influences that as well. The key to controlling a dream, and honestly the theme of a dream or the mood of a dream and nightmares as well, is really emotions. Emotions are the key. You can have different ideas and concepts that you can use to help you with your emotions. Like one of the things that I've heard about with nightmares as well before, and trying to work with them or re-script them or rehearse them and change them in a way to look at how you could approach a situation. So if you're having like a recurring nightmare, for example, I've heard examples like this used. So if you're having a recurring nightmare, you want to try to change the imagery in it and change how you reacted to the situation, and give yourself options. So if you end up in it again, you remember that you're dreaming, you just have options, things you could do that would help you, and then that in turn can affect your emotional perception of the experience, and that can also in turn affect the experience as a whole. And at the end of the day, your emotions do kind of dictate the theme or mood of a dream. So finding out how you can influence your emotional state to something different is really the best way to handle a nightmare situation. But giving yourself like tools and ways to react to it that are not how you had been reacting to it if you're dealing with recurring nightmares, one of the things you can do. Hey, let's see. Just Philip, how long do you think it would take for humanity to go to Mars or to really anticipate inventions if almost every scientist knew how to use lucid dreaming? Practicing it from inside lucid dreams. Well, I think the answer to that question, just Philip, is only you really only have to ask about one person. How long would it take to go to Mars or to anticipate inventions if Elon Musk could practice lucid dreaming or practice from inside a lucid dream? Because Elon Musk is going to get us to Mars. Let's be honest here. Elon Musk is going to get us to Mars. That is going to happen within my lifetime. That is going to happen. Elon Musk is going to get us to Mars. But as far as like practicing it, and lucid dreams can be a really great source of inspiration, and it's like the creative side. You know, if you're someone who's naturally creative, you know, I feel like I'm one of those people. I'm very creative in terms of I can just imagine any scenario that I want to, and I can think about how it could play out, and you know, sort of rehearse a scenario and hypothetical conceptualize a scenario and think about how I can play. I'm very creative that way, and I can take things and come up with my own storylines and scenarios. I come up with my own basically stories that way sometimes. It's fun. It's really fun to do. But you know, I feel like it takes a certain type of person too. Like not everyone I think is that creative. I mean, that's the thing. You know, some of that really does come down to natural ability. Some people are just better at being creative than others, and that's just, you know, we're different. I mean, that's just being different. Some people are, you know, we use our brains differently. I'm creative, but I'm also really highly analytical, and you know, the way I process information reflects that. I'm very analytical, and so I end up running these types of hypothetical scenarios. I try to analyze it based on like what data I have present, and then I come up with, you know, ideas that fit the circumstances. It's actually really fun to do in dreams too. The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. Is that what you're saying, Unlucky Panda? That's an FDR quote. Anyway, I shouldn't say too much there. But dang, yeah. Yeah. If I finish the game, I will be more active now. I think you had like a game, something related in your name, maybe. I'm not sure. Trying to remember. Cappuccino. Lucid dream in the back rooms. You're not the only one who's thought of that. You need a special object controller. I mean, honestly, what I think about it doesn't necessarily matter. I mean, you know, ultimately at the end of the day, it's whatever you want it to be and what you should kind of aim for. If you're trying to create something, you know, it should reflect your ideas of what you most strongly associate with what you want that to be. I mean, but if that's an idea that you resonate with, that you want to pursue, then by all means do it. Become the entity of the back. What do you mean the entity? There are too many of them. TikTok added 10-minute videos. It's like they're actually trying to appeal to people who don't want to win Darwin Awards, which is good because less than 5-minute videos is actually crap in my view for a lot of things. And I am caught up. Computer time.
It's 2:33 p.m.
2:33 p.m. But yeah, that could be cool. Yeah, I think it did. I think it had a game related thing in it. It had the number 8 in it. And yeah, it had the number 8 in it. I think it may have had an L in it somewhere. I'm just trying to remember what the heck it was, because I remember it. I remember you having that name. I just don't remember what that name is right now for some reason. And you changed it to Cappuccino. And it was like there was an 8 at the end of it, and I'm trying to remember what it was. Yeah, PRs are really fun. Honestly, I'm kind of like I take like a kind of analytical, creative approach too. Like, but well, it's a weird combination. But I came up with I'm very analytical, so my PR is very analytical. I have a lot of details. I created an entire zoning system for the starship, Star Horizons. It has zone numbering on 0 to 200 in front of the ship to the back, P10 to S10. Each of those numberings are quarter-mile segments to represent the 50-mile by 5-mile starship. has 500 decks, and so you get a section number like 100 to S10 for midships, starboard hull line, and then you have a deck number and a compartment number, and everything's kind of cordoned off that way. And I created an entire numerical zoning system for a 50-mile long starship, and then I went and created stats for all of the ships aboard, like all its carrying capacity. 24 Peacekeeper class cruisers, 100 Guardian class escort frigates, 11,760 Protector class starfighters. And I came up with the distributions. So 4,800 fighter craft on the carrier, 240 fighter craft on each of the cruisers, and 12 on each of the frigates. And that's where that number came from. Star Horizons remains my only one. It's more about like I haven't visited it that often. Trying to think the last time I actually visited one. It really is for me actually about remembering to go there when I get lucid, because most of the times, actually, most of my lucids are opportunistic in nature, and so it's really about remembering to try to go there. Trying to think the last time was I actually went there. That is a good question. I've had Star Trek dreams. I've had several really fun Star Trek dreams though. I've had a really interesting couple of Star Trek Orville combination dreams, and there was some like weird prophecy crap thrown in there too, which was kind of funny. And like I had some like it was like this character was on this. I was like, playing a character in a game that was prophesied to bring an end to like a Cardassian Dominion alliance, and then it turned into Gordon Malloy on this really weird space station where he died and then got resurrected and became all powerful or like really powerful and some crap. It was actually really funny. It was half game, half TV show, and it was really funny. That was a few weeks ago, or a week ago. Hey, Sensei's back. Yeah, he is back. Good. Probably later, honestly. I think, having a good grasp of it is probably, a good idea before you try to make a persistent world. But I think you can start making the world itself whenever you want. It really depends on, I think, how you want to go about making the world. I mean, there's the method of, okay, go visit a place in a dream, and then you visit a place that you want to, that ultimately becomes your PR. You don't really make it consciously in that sense. A lot of people do that. I take the whole build everything approach and like made the idea based off of ideas I already had, and then just evolved it into full-on hypothetical scenarios and full-on statistics in areas where I've been able to forcibly create compartments and zones and places. So I think it kind of depends on how you want to go about it. Like you can come up with an idea for it whenever you want, and then as far as implementing that idea or trying to do something for it, probably more experience would be better. Interesting. Boyan Rakic, yeah, I remember you. Long time no here. Very long time no here. I guess he just joined and he's leaving. Okay. And my dad just moved his car. My mother will be coming home soon, so he's moving his car. And I wouldn't say a certain number of lucids. I don't think that's an accurate measurement because some people can learn things faster or slower than others. I think it's till you have maybe like a certain degree of control, like you're able to be in the dream for a decent amount of time, like maybe at least 5 minutes or more. You're able to have a decent amount of practice controlling things or doing actions in a dream. Because I think you kind of have to have that kind of level of working out the whole emotional expectation type thing and learning how to work with dream control a bit before you're able to actually do that successfully. And that the number of lucids for that I think would vary from person to person. So I think it's more like how much control that you're able to have. And some people can do really well with control early on, and some people can't. And then try to work through learning how control works and actually practicing that. Media 0238 p.m. I'm doing fine. Welcome to my live stream. I don't think we have met. Welcome. Bye, Panda. Thanks for coming. Oh, cool. Interesting. I guess. Yeah. So you're going to create like a hub world. That's not a bad idea. That's actually not a bad idea. Let's see, where are we? We're at 240. Oh, Sealed Orion, welcome. What do you think matters most while controlling a dream? Conscious expectations, belief, willpower, confidence factors like that. I think what matters most is emotions and expectations. And I would take the word conscious out because your expectations can be subconscious as well. So I would say emotions, how what your emotional state is in that moment, because that affects the mood or theme of a dream. And then your strongest associations, what you most strongly associate with happening. And confidence, I think, plays a role in that too. You don't want to doubt yourself, so you want to take that out of the equation. I do think the more confident you are, the better things are likely to be. I do think that plays a role. But yeah, definitely your emotional state. I think confidence does tend to be involved with your emotional state as well. I think that's an expression of it as well, how you're feeling about what you're trying to do. So I think confidence goes under emotional state, not doubting yourself, not being anxious or fearful or nervous about it. So confidence definitely goes under emotional state. And then, your strong associations, what you associate with happening. I think those are the most important things for dream control. Yeah, he just started his car. Okay, so he's moving it now. Okay. Oh, media. Hey Sky, I've been using your dream a couple days, and I remembered a dream last night. I wasn't lucid. It was crazy and vivid. It was weird that I wasn't lucid because my dad was there and he's dead. Okay, by the way, it's really great that you're actually getting more vivid dreams. That's actually a good sign, even though you weren't lucid. Here's the thing: you can mild with that dream. Take that dream. You have a huge dream sign. It's really unfortunate that your father is dead. That's unfortunate. But at the same time, that's also a really, really, really big dream sign. My dead grandfather, he died in January of 2021, lived to be 90. And he showed up in a few different dreams. In fact, he got me lucid in one. I was in my grandmother's house, the other side of the family. And he came walking into a room, and I was like, he's dead. And I was lucid. And then my dad proceeded to say that I wasn't dreaming. And so I climbed up on top of him and did a somersault over his head and started flying. And it was hilarious. But but yes, getting vivid recall like that is actually a really good sign. Remember that you do dream 4 to 6 times a night, and so the more recall, the better. But having a vivid dream like that with clearly obvious dream signs is perfect for mild. That is mild fodder right there. Use it. Use it. It is absolutely great for mild. Can't really think of anything better than a very vivid dream with clearly obvious dream signs. I mean, it's really good for milding, in my view. Hope you're having a great day. TJC made YT on Discord. Okay, I'm not sure if we've talked much, but I'm obviously Skyfall Blind Dreamer on Discord. But thank you very much. I'm having a great day. So yeah, I'm having a good day. I hope you are as well. Thank you for joining us. If you have any more questions, feel free to let me know. It's 2:44. I really like to get Sensei and one of the other advanced lucid dreamers and do some sort of discussion panel on here. That would be really fun. I think we should do a 3-way discussion or 4-way discussion panel. and just discuss the concept. That could be enjoyable. We could debate everything from the efficacy of dream control to PR creation to lucidity, effectiveness. We could discuss research. We could do a whole bunch of stuff. It's just coordinating people, getting schedules to work. How many lucids are you getting now, Cappuccino? Like how frequently are you getting lucid now? Those dreams I normally get lucid even when I don't do much for night technique. Now lucid dreams become such a big part of my life. It's a lot easier to see those signs. Awesome. How often are you getting lucid now? Because it sounds like you're getting lucid more frequently, which is amazing. I'm really glad to hear that. So how often are you getting lucid now? And I wish I had the ability to do like a community poll on this channel, but you have to be a certain size to do that, and I'm not. So I can't do a community poll yet. But yeah, I'm definitely interested, Cappuccino, in how often you're getting lucid now. And so I will await that response. In the meantime, my football team won yesterday, though they could have looked a lot better considering who they were playing. And school continues to go okay for now. But I'm looking forward to getting back into doing some streams. I'm obviously going to need to do more than Q&A streams, especially if I don't have as many newbies on. I'll probably end up having to do a Q&A stream at night now. A lot of newer people seem to be on at night, so I feel like I might get more questions if I'm doing this at night. And then I need to have different streams that I can do to get more done. It's a lot easier to see the signs. Let's see. It depends on how much I try in the night. But assuming I try my dream recall, probably multiple a week. That's not bad. That's not bad, Cappuccino. That's good. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. I hope you are enjoying those. That is a good place to be. Let's see. It's 2:47 p.m., 14:47 hours, United States, Eastern Daylight Time. And I will likely be heading out here shortly. I need to get some work done. I need to make a little money. Got to get some of that dough, guys. You know, that stuff we got to spend. I got to get some of it. I'm glad to hear that you've gotten better with recall. Recall is one of I can't say this and stress this enough. Dream recall is one of the most important fundamentals for lucid dreaming. If you don't have dream recall, it's going to be difficult to get lucid. So if you're getting dream recall down, dream recall is one of the most important things you can do. And so I wish you the best of dream recall. It is really important to do. How would I be able to snap out of the type of autopilot dreams? I don't know how to become lucid, even though there are three kinds of controls. Well, control is separate from lucidity. Now, here's the thing. I don't know how to become lucid. Yes, you do. You actually do. You're practicing it right now. You're doing mild. You're setting intentions. In fact, there are a couple ways you get lucid. And with mild, you generally get lucid by subconscious action at some point. You remember the intention to notice that you're dreaming, and then you notice a dream sign. You do actually notice something, and that activates lucidity. Then you become lucid that way. And you also get lucid by being critical of what's going on around you, being aware and being critical of what's going on around you, and practicing that as a day practice, like SAT or ADA, something like that. Practicing that as a day practice can improve awareness and criticality. And so you get lucid that way. So yes, you do actually know how to become lucid. Just because you haven't done it yet doesn't mean you don't know how to do it. It just means you need more practice. All right. So just because you haven't done it yet doesn't mean you can't do it. Media. In fact, getting that vivid recall you got, that's actually a good sign. That's good progress. So note the progress you do have, and then just keep working on it. I mean, I don't know how long you've been doing mild for. I think you said a couple of days. There's a reason why we tell people to practice for at least a month before switching techniques. because you're building up skill. This is cognitive training, basically. This is cognitive training. You're basically training yourself using cognitive techniques to improve your skill over time. That's basically what you're doing. Hola, hola, Hetty. Soy de los Estados Unidos. Well, technically, you are from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. I was in Puerto Rico en la crucero de Carnaval Mardi Gras en junio. Sí. 21 de junio. 21 de junio. Martes. Martes 21 de junio. Fui en Puerto Rico. I was in actually, hold on, that's actually incorrect, I think. Fuera. No, that's again the wrong verb. It should be using the imperfect, not the preterite there. I think. But I don't know. Oh well. That's a little bit of Spanish for you. I was in Puerto Rico actually on Tuesday, June 21st, on the cruise ship Carnival Mardi Gras. That was our first stop, first port of call, my first time ever in Puerto Rico. So I have been there. Have you read into Yoga Nidra, non-sleep deep rest? I am reading stuff about it, and it seems there's some overlap with lucid dreaming. Especially no, I have not read into that. Is that where you're trying to be aware of dreamless sleep? Is that like that thing? Because if so, there is definitely some overlap, but I haven't read into it. That's awesome, Cappuccino. I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. Oh, I had a good bit of fun actually. Muy divertido. I went and explored just a little bit. I only explored on my own for about an hour and a half, 2 hours max. I didn't have anyone to explore with, and I didn't book an excursion, so I actually wanted to hop on the metro rail line thing they have, the Tren Urbano. I went and hopped on that and explored it, and then went back to the cruise ship. But I got to use a little bit of my Spanish. There were people at the train station didn't. One of them I walked around with didn't speak much English, and so I got to use some Spanish while I was there and practiced it a little bit. Got to do the same thing on the República Dominicana. I got to do that there when I went to my dolphin swim excursion. That was a long day. That was like a 5-hour excursion. Oh, nice. Cappuccino, he's talking to me actually, because I was telling him that I was in Puerto Rico. He's talking to me because I told him, because he says from Puerto Rico, and I was telling him I went to Puerto Rico just in June. He said, "Nice. I hope you had fun." Oop. Former is like a deep state of relaxation. Deep state. Okay, I haven't heard about it. I haven't really heard about that. Then happy I prepared for that. No embarrassment. Yeah. Okay. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. But yeah, Harry, do you have any lucid dreaming questions for us before I close this down? If you do, please let us know. But yeah, this has been fun. I do wish we had some more people and more questions on. We got a few, but I wish we had more. But everyone here is an advanced lucid dreamer, almost, it feels like. So there's like, it kind of feels like you've asked everything. It's really interesting. We had a couple of newer lucid dreamers, but most everyone here is pretty advanced. Any tips for a good dream recall? Yes, several. So first off, of course, you know about dream journaling, about recording dreams. usually in a decent amount of detail, especially after you wake up. But there's a lot more to that than that. So, for example, before bed, you can review dreams before bed. You go through your dream journal, actually read dreams that you've recorded, or if you record them in audio, listen to them or do something, review your dreams, think about them. Set intentions to remember your dreams when you wake up. You do this before bed. An intention is a decision to perform a future action associated with a trigger. And so in this case, you want to remember dreams. You want to remember your dreams when you wake up. So when you wake up, that is the trigger for you to remember dreams. So you're setting this intention to remember your dreams when you wake up. And a few things about intention is the more important an intention is to you, the more likely you are to do it. And the more you think about an intention, the more likely you are to do it. So thinking about it, kind of, thinking repetitively a little bit about it can help you remember it. But the more you think about it, the more likely you're going to remember it. The more important it is to you, the more likely you are going to do it. And an intention is a decision to do something. And you have that item that you want to do, that thing you want to do, action you want to take associated with a triggering event. And intentions can either be temporal based, you try and do something at a specific time. More commonly, they're event based, which is why I suggested when you wake up, because that's an event. It's going to happen regardless of what time you wake up. You were going to wake up. And so you have that event, and that event is there to trigger you to remember your dreams. And then combined with that, actually quite nicely, is dream delving. And dream delving is where, as soon as you wake up, and this is why waking up without alarms can be really helpful, because alarms tend to be, especially starting alarms, they tend to distract you and take your focus. And that also means you're not thinking about your dreams when you wake up. Now, one of the things that can make dream recall difficult is the way memory works in dreams is dream memories. The evidence tends to indicate that dream memories tend to be have issues with encoding in terms of like actually imprinting in short-term, long-term storage. I think it's short-term at that time, but they have difficulty encoding and being retained. And what helps with that is thinking about them. And so the moment you wake up, try to think about not just what you were just dreaming, but you want to have your eyes closed and stay in your sleeping position when you woke up in, and think about what were you just dreaming about, but what you were just feeling, seeing, hearing, thinking, feeling emotionally, doing, experiencing, what ideas you had. I mean, think about that. And so the goal is that you get a dream scene that comes to mind. And the way memory works is by association. And so your sleeping position is actually associated with your most recent dream, the sleep position you woke up in. And you work your way backwards through that dream as far as you can go, because the scene you remember is associated with the scene before that. And so that's how memory works. You just work your way backwards as far as you can. And you can, if you sleep in multiple positions throughout the night, another thing you can do when you've done that in one position, you can roll over to another position and try to do the same thing, because that memory can also be associated with the sleep position you were in at the time. And so you can recall dreams that way. And then once you've remembered as many dreams as you can, you want to journal them. And so that's how dream delving works. We call it dream delving. The actual scientific community doesn't call it by anything, which I think is honestly a waste. The logic is that there's a bunch of names for things that don't need them already. Well, that is true. There's way too many name techniques that don't need a name. However, in this case, I do think, and I made this argument to actual several dream researchers at the conference I was at. I made this argument that while that is true for most things, I think dream delving is important enough that it should have a name, because you want to have an easy association to the technique itself. And so I think that is very helpful, because it is a more unique technique. So I think having an easy association to that is helpful. I may hopefully attempt to change the literature on that at some point. I would love to get the term dream delving actually in literature. I would love to get that in something published, like the actual term dream delving. It's a term that I'm not sure who came up with it. I didn't come up with it. I borrowed it. I mean, that's somebody else came up with it, probably someone on DreamViews. And I was told it, and that's when I was taught about it, and I teach it to other people now. And so yeah, dream delving. It's really good. It's something I definitely recommend people do. Skyfall. Have you ever thought of writing a book? Yes, I have. In fact, I've dabbled in like a couple of chapters of a fiction book that I've been thinking about. That's based on alien invasion taking over everyone in their dreams, basically. Yeah, that is actually helpful. Well, there's my explanation of Dream Recall. Harry, if you're on Dream Cafe, you can go to the Lucid FAQ channel. Look for a Dream Recall guide. Thunder has it kind of buried, but it's the link it's the link from lucidity.com. It's really good. I recommend you read it. Please do. It goes over a lot of the same stuff I just told you. It doesn't use the term dream delving, though. Like I said, the scientific literature unfortunately does not use the term dream delving. I'm going to see if I can fix that. I have friends in that community now, people I know anyway. And so I'm going to see if I can get the term dream delving to be popularly accepted. In fact, I really want to push for that term to be accepted in the scientific community because I think it's earned a place. I think that technique for dream recall is important enough that it deserves to have a name. And so I intend to advocate for that. And we have reached the 3 o'clock hour, and that means I'm going to disappear from the world for a little bit. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate you all. We have 7 people remaining now. So thank you all. This has been Skyfall Blind Dreamer. And I hope you have a good day, whoever and wherever you may be.